I've spoken about collective witchcraft often. So those who have followed this channel for a while, you know what collective witchcraft is. That is when a group of people agree harm on you mentally, and they express this by meditating negative about you. They are psychically assaulting you. So it's a psychic assault. Psychic violence, which is what collective witchcraft is, it's violence. It can harm your health, it can destroy your finances, it can shorten your lifespan. A lot of harm is caused by psychic violence. Most accidents out there are the result of negative meditation of people. So when a group of people don't like you, they have a negative view of you, you are in trouble. That is why people that are practical and smart in this world, they always want to have others like them. Pagans, this is something that may surprise you. Pagans do think about what others think about them. Why? Not because they're codependent like commoners are. Pagans understand that human beings are spirit beings, and if a spirit being operates in the negative, it will pollute the environment. And pagans also know that when a group of people are agreeing negative about you, that negative agreement of those people against you will cause you harm in the long run. So pagans, not because they want to, but because they know it's a necessity, they want others to think good about them. So pagans will often give in to societal expectations. Not because they agree with those societal expectations, but because they know that when you refuse to comply with the expectations of commoners, commoners feel hurt and they blame you for the hurt they feel. And when you have a lot of commoners doing this against you, you will face a lot of harm in daily life. There are two ways to kill an individual. Well, no, there are multiple ways to kill someone, but let's, for example's sake, there are two ways to kill someone. You can pick up a knife or a gun or any other weapon, go to the individual's house and stab them or shoot them or whatever. Or you can murmur and complain about the individual over and over again, and you do this in a group, so a group of people keep murmuring and meditating negative about someone, and this causes negative energy to haunt the individual, and the individual develop sleeping problems, they can't function properly at work, they may become unemployed because of that, that may lead to a lot of stress that causes disease. So that's another way to kill someone. Most people out there are the victim of delayed homicide. Delayed homicide is when someone dies before their time due to collective witchcraft or due to psychic violence. And many people out there who die due to diseases is because they are the victim of delayed homicide. Most people aren't even aware that they are suffering as a consequence of collective witchcraft. So this whole mindset that a lot of young people tend to embrace, that they don't care what others think about them, it's their life, it's how they want to live it, is a very dumb attitude. Let me tell you why. You shouldn't rely on the validation of others to feel good about yourself. That's codependence. You shouldn't be like that. But you must be aware you have to deal with other people. So you have to get along with others, one way or the other. So on the social level, it's obvious that you need to consider how others think about you. Because how they think about you is how they will treat you. But on a spiritual level, you know it's very important how others think about you. Let me give you an example. If people think that you're an easy target and they can get away with violating you, they'll feel confident harming you. They'll feel confident treating you like trash. But the moment they sense that there may be something haunting them, if they bother you, you're left alone. They see you, they're triggered, but they walk away. So how people think about you will affect you. Now, am I saying that all pagans want to please society? No. There are pagans who are very open that they don't want to get along with society. But even then, they'll make sure they do it in such a way that they don't anger too many people. Once people are angered by you not giving in to their expectations, they will never see you the same way again. Let me give an example. Let's say you attend a wedding and people secretly put rat poison in your food because they want to get rid of you. You ate the food and you're still alive. Nothing harmed you. And everyone around you were already making plans. Oh, within a week he'll die. Then it will be a funeral, and after that we'll continue life as if he never existed. They invested in that plan. But now that plan fails. So not only did you survive, now they need to give up all the plans they've invested in. And now they need to face you and remember that they tried to kill you. And if it ever comes out that they tried to kill you, they may face jail time. Or if it comes out they try to kill you, nobody will trust them anymore because they'll think, hold on a minute, you put red poison in someone's food because you want to get rid of them. Oh, so how can I trust you? So they know that there is no turning back for them. That from that point on they can only lose. They can only lose because they don't want to repent. And even if they repent, there will still be consequences they need to deal with. They don't want to deal with any consequences. So the moment they chose to turn on you, it's the point they decided to make themselves miserable. If they could get rid of you, and then they don't have to be confronted with you, it will be a relief unto them. But what if they can't get rid of you and your influence overshadows their resistance? Now they have a very big problem. And now they'll be the ones developing diseases, sicknesses, and accidents, not you. Just realize, believer, that you will not always notice the obvious. Think about the example I just gave of people trying to poison your food. And you survived. And all their plans and all their expectations are disappointed. Now they need to deal with the disappointment and they need to deal with the secret that they tried to kill you. Because if that secret comes out, they are in trouble. Other people can look at them and think, who do you think you are? Poisoning someone's food. Now, people may not try to poison your food with rat poison, as I said in that example. But if you are sitting somewhere in a restaurant, eating your meal, and people are meditating negatively about you, they are emitting that negative emission on your food. So your food is being poisoned on a molecule level while you're eating there. It can be that you are eating steak and suddenly you can't eat the steak anymore because you taste the steak and the steak tastes like mud. And you think, what is this? But it's steak. And you think, why does it taste like mud? Let me tell you why. Because in that restaurant, there are people looking at you with anger, and that anger is thrown your way through the climate, and it affects the food you're eating. So now you're tasting the bitterness of those people in your food. If you have a chef, and the chef is very excited when he prepares a cake, the cake will taste delicious when you eat it, even though we didn't even use that many spices. If you have another chef who's very bitter when making cinnamon rolls, even though cinnamon rolls are very sweet, because it's made by someone that was bitter, that bitterness affected the ingredients of the cinnamon rolls, and then the cinnamon rolls will taste very dry and very weird. So when you taste it, you think, oh, I don't want to eat this anymore. So the emissions of human beings affect the environment. It affects food. And by the way, people can poison your food by meditating anger on your food for long enough. Such things happen. Sometimes you walk in public and suddenly you feel back pain or ache in your body. It's because somewhere there's psychic rage against you. Because you survived plots against you. Now they don't know what to do. Because remember, if things comes out, they are in trouble. But To keep things hidden is a lot of effort. Sometimes you don't notice what's going on, others do. Look, just realize that as long as Christ is not returned back, you will face persecution. Now, pagans don't have the righteousness of God. Pagans don't have the Holy Spirit, so they don't have the absolute protection. That's why pagans, despite that they have a paranormal cover, they need to be careful. But the believer doesn't have to be careful. The environment has to be careful with them. The believer doesn't have to be careful because the believer is covered. A pagan has a paranormal cover, which is a counterfeit, and that's why they still need to be careful. That is why in this world, people that are quote unquote fake tend to live longer, tend to be more at ease, tend to be in less troubles than people who keep it real. This whole mentality of keeping it real, because you don't want to pretend to be someone you're not, that mentality will cost you your life. Let me tell you why. You will express whatever's on your mind. And you get used to relieving yourself by expressing whatever you're thinking or feeling. And there comes a time that you will express and reveal something that will haunt you or that will trap you. And look at it this way. If you have someone who can't stand you, they can't stand being in the same room with you, they have an issue that they associate with you. They associate their trash with you because they don't want to face the trash. So anytime you're around, that trash that they have is triggered. If the problem was you, they would see you and they would be at ease. The fact that they see you and the threat means there's something wrong with them. And if they openly treat you in a very bad way, or they make plain to you that they don't like you, they don't want to see you, they are now revealing that they are cowards. They're not revealing, they don't want to face reality, they don't want to take responsibility. Later, people come to remind them, aren't you the one that said you couldn't stand an individual and all of that? And when people demand an explanation, they can't give one. So now they're trapped. But let's say you have some other individual who also has issues, but the individual never expresses those issues on someone else. They may feel uncomfortable around certain people, but they will acknowledge when they're at home that it's them, that they're the ones projecting. So, even though they may associate some bad feelings with you, they know it's them. They know it's not you. So when you're there, they will treat you kind, they will treat you as they should. Behind your back, they may be upset, but they know it's them. And such people are called fake in the world because they don't express and reveal what's inside of them. They are smart, they are practical. Because even the Bible says that only a fool reveals his annoyance in an instant. This whole idea of just speaking your mind, of just being clear and being direct, and not beating around the bush, it's foolishness. Those that beat around the bush, those that are quote unquote fake, those are hypocrites. They tend to live longer and they tend to be much happier than those who are very clear and without patience. And let me tell you, people that are like that, who are quote unquote hypocrites, fake, and all of that, such people are more reliable and more safe to be around than people who are very clear and don't want to examine themselves. Someone who doesn't want to examine himself or herself, such an individual will eventually turn into a time bomb. Someone that's so flexible that they realize that they don't have a fixed identity, they may go too far in pleasing other people, but at least they realize that they need to be flexible. Yes, they are all over the place. Yes, they quote unquote mind other people's business. Yes, they're quote unquote annoying. And because of that, they are alert, they are wise, they are aware of stuff. And that's why they know when to walk away. So I'm telling you, believer, don't let everyone teach you. Let only those teach you who are wise. Let only those teach you who are practical. Let only those teach you who are flexible. Don't let everyone be your teacher. Don't. Some of you have way too many teachers. And the majority of those teachers don't follow God. They're not in agreement with Christ. Yet, you view them as honorable teachers. Well, they're not honorable at all. I'm not telling you to only follow me. No, because I'm not the Most High. You should follow God. You should follow Christ. Any human that you follow must be in line with Christ. And therefore, they must add something to your walk by faith. If they don't, why do you follow them? Why do you see them as an example? Why do you honor them? Look, this video is not a rant. I'm just pointing out to you. You need to be more practical. If you're not, how do you expect to walk in victory? You can't. That's it for now. Keep agreeing with Christ and be